Life is full of choices. Some lead to hope, whilst others result in despair. When things don't go your way, have you ever just thought, hang on, I want to play the role of the villain for once? Dragon Age Origins hears you and delivers. Released on May 18th, 2010, the Darkspawn Chronicles is a standalone DLC for Dragon Age Origins, developed by BioWare and published by Electronic Arts. In this tale, we play as a hurlock vanguard, an emissary of the archdemon with the ability to enthrall other Darkspawn, commanding them to do its bidding. The DLC takes place during the Darkspawn raid on Denerim, painting a picture of what would have happened had your warden failed the joining ceremony performed in Ostagar. Beating up on the gates of Denerim, as the town smoulders under the force of the siege, the DLC takes us through the defining battle from the angle of those that would see the world, and its denizens, burn under the encroaching blight. One thing that I want to point out before we get too far into the review is that this game is not designed for modern displays. I played on the PC with a 4K screen at max settings and found that the UI elements, particularly tooltips and quest information, were extremely small, forcing me to sit as close to the screen as possible to be able to make out what the text said. I understand that there are unofficial mods available for the game, but as it's still currently on Steam as a product that the public can purchase, I would have appreciated if BioWare could have implemented an official patch to address this. However, as the game servers and the keep appear to be intermittent or permanently offline, I understand that this is not a priority. It's worth noting though if you wish to play the game on PC, so please keep this in mind. At least Denerim doesn't have that stupid memory bleed issue in this DLC that the base game does on PC, which makes it almost impossible to play with random and consistent crashes. As a hurlock vanguard, it is your job to command the Darkspawn troops toward protecting the archdemon, who is under the threat from the united front of Ferelden. To achieve this, you can use the unique Enthrall ability to pull any Darkspawn within visible range into your party, at a maximum of 3 additional members. Each Darkspawn type has advantages and disadvantages, as they all have differing skill sets, strengths, and weaknesses. Don't worry if you end up filling out your party with useless fodder though, as you can enthrall an existing party member to dismember them and make room for other lackeys. One of my favourite things to do was enthrall an ogre and use it to pick up the enemies, tossing them around like a ragdoll, reminding me of the time that this practice often seemed to happen to Alistair in the main campaign. As the game begins, you are telepathically given instructions from the archdemon laying out your objectives. I was surprised to discover that during the process of the siege you come across figures of importance who may have assisted your warden in the main campaign, turning their blade upon you. At first I thought it was amusing seeing some of the warden's companions fall, along with other less desirable NPCs such as Alistair's half-sister. However, the further into the campaign I got, and the more people that were slain, the more melancholy I started to feel. Some of these people had been companions that I had adventured with, sharing frustrations, joy, and laughter. Was it really that amusing to cut down someone who I had once called a friend? Regardless of this train of thought, the archdemon urged me forward, compelling me to kill. Each instance of the campaign commences with the objective laid out for you, making it easy to determine where you need to go next. As the entire DLC is contained within the city of Denerim, it was simply a task of moving from location to location, completing objectives, and continuing the carnage. I enjoyed this simplicity as I didn't need to worry about dialogue choices, or potential future outcomes that came from story trees that were present in the main game. This streamlined approach meant that I could continue to press my assault without having to worry about my companions giving up on me and leaving due to not agreeing with my choices. Actually, the Darkspawn Chronicles gives you much more control by permitting you to disintegrate followers that displease you without even having to engage in conversation or worry about what others would think. Each Darkspawn has preset abilities and do not level up, so you don't need to worry about assigning them their skills, though you may need to keep them appeased with gifts to keep them engaged, or you can just blow them up. It's your choice. Who knew that those of the darkness could equally become victim to materialism? As you continue to press forward, taking out adversaries, some of them will crumble to bones and dust, leaving items to collect. Sometimes these are equipment upgrades that are worth using on your hurlock vanguard, or other times you'll find healing poultices and other such trinkets that make continuing the assault more feasible. By the time I ended the game, I had a stockpile of healing items that I didn't really need. Though in saying this, I did find that I had to change the difficulty to easy on the last boss, as the ultimate force seemed to slay the archdemon no matter what I'd tried. I found it interesting to see the alternate reality and how competent Alistair may have been had he been the last warden left to take a stand against the Blight. He pretty much had the same companions that I did by the time of the final battle, though he decided to name dog Darkspawn, which I thought was kinda cute. You don't get to see the effects of any of his choices though, other than who is recruited to help him, such as the werewolves, who I'd transformed back into humans in my playthrough. I kinda would have liked to see a little more of how his choices affected the world of Ferelden and the outcome of the battle, not only by who he recruited, but also in the forces that he'd managed to unite, and even maybe the dialogue that they had between themselves that you'd be able to listen to. Surely he wouldn't have been able to appease everyone, and I am surprised that Morrigan hadn't blown him up without our previous interventions. The other thing I wanted to touch on, which is unique to the PC version, is the controls. When playing on the PC, you can press the spacebar to pause the action and lay out strategies. I don't believe that this was an option on the PS3 version, though I am happy to be corrected on this if I am wrong. The ability to halt combat so that you could issue individual instructions to party members, commanding them where to move and what abilities to use, was very helpful. Also, in general, I found that using a mouse to command my allies was much easier than the PS3 controller. Dragon Age Origins: The Darkspawn Chronicles provides a glimpse into what could have happened to Ferelden had we fallen at the joining ceremony in Ostagar. Whilst the DLC doesn't offer many new abilities other than Enthrall, and some that are unique to particular Darkspawn types, it was nice to be given the opportunity to play from a different perspective. The stripped back gameplay, removing the need to converse with the world's denizens, made the experience easier to breeze through, and was a welcome change to the main quest that often forced you to make tough decisions. If you feel like you might want to experience a different angle, then I'd recommend you pick this up. Coming in at around 2 hours, it won't take that much time out of your day, and provides a challenge that isn't as difficult as a room full of mages throwing fireball spells, or getting lost in the deep roads. Though be prepared to be stepped all over in the final battle against a man that you may have fallen in love with, but this time, your tongue definitely won't be stuck to his lamppost in winter. By the way, DLCs provide a great opportunity to expand out on a world and its lore, play as different characters, and experience different perspectives. What are some of your favourite game DLCs? Let me know in the comments. This has been Vanguard with a review of the Darkspawn Chronicles, DLC to Dragon Age Origins, played on the PC. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe for more great Western RPG content. I hope you take care of yourselves and that I'll see you around next time. Bye bye for now.